Welcome back to Demon Lord Retry, anime review, episode number 13. We are reviewing the 7th episode of the series. 7th episode of Demon Lord Retry are Remain. This is from chapters 11 through 14 of the Demon Lord Retry R manga. Yeah, mostly put basically when it comes to these chapters, it's like some of the stuff that was cut from the previous episode they just put here. It's basically the first portion of the episode focuses on Takashi, where Kunai tells him to deal with that stuff, basically they say this all the air stuff. Basically we see he was up to during the events of the previous episode, where he is stopping a group of Knights of the Right from raping 2 women, shoots all of them. They probably don't thank him for it, and then, just by sheer coincidence, he just happened to come across the main base of the Satanist in this area. He proceeds to shoot all of them in a sequence that was actually spoiled in the opening title sequence. Yes, believe it or not, if anybody see the title sequence, which is a great sequence, the moment where you see him have guns come out of the frickin' wall, and with a magic circle and firing on these people, this is pulled directly from the old title sequence, except they took this from that, except that the other character's not here. So, then he wonders why the wall basically wasn't shot up. Nothing comes, and then he sees basically where Kunai has eliminated the robot from previous episode. And then, of course, runs into Zenobia's, one of their ninjas. And then we see, he goes to celebrate back. Of course, he fixes martial arts leg, heals it back up, and then Luna proceeds to have a ceremony where Madame Butterfly and martial arts are friends again, no more fighting. Okay. And then they basically go back. Ego goes with them back to the village where, Ego meets everybody and gets on pretty well, no problem. And, here's the thing. They have no problem with her being a demi-human. Not at all. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just basically the Knights of the Right, they are a bunch of dicks. And then being shot by Takane, he basically rightfully deserved it. So, then after celebrating, they proceeds to go back to Oregon. That's her name, Oregon. Where it's they proceed to go get some food and be in this particularly very nice looking base, which looks like a basically like a 4-story house. There's a hammock there. It just pops out of nowhere. I love this thing, and we have this plant called the Lish, and apparently you have to either put it to sleep or put an illusion to eat anything. And she mentions while eating mushrooms that she apparently lost her ability of tasting. Well, that was due to the many poisons that she was injected with, and why she wanted to kill her father. Basically, her father raped her mother on a whim. And then they proceed to do experiments on her. So she's half human, half demon. Okay. Here's the thing. I have no problem with the characters with being a half human, half demon, or half whatever. Heck, there's half human, half elves. Or half demon, half human, half Vulcan, like in Star Trek. That's happening forward Spock. I have no issue with this. In story, basically, it's let's experiment on them. Let's burn them to a crisp. Let's freeze them. Heal them. I'm thinking, wait, her father allowed this. No wonder why your daughter wants to murder you, dude. You're a complete dick, and you're a terrible father. What parent basically allowed the child to experiment on? Yeah. So, then, of course, he enjoys it. Of course, they fly, and oh, look, we have this crystal stuff. And then they come across the Beastkin, which are monkeys. Yes, freaking monkeys. Which apparently the leader is Son Goku from Journey to the West. I am not kidding about that. He just walks up, he's basically like, and his monkeys are basically complete buffoons. Excuse me. And the only way to know the fact he's based upon Son Goku from Journey to the West is the fact he's the Power Pole. Which, okay, so those are already thinking, okay, Power Pole, Son Goku, sounds like Dragon Ball Z. And that kind of is true because Dragon Ball is inspired by Journey to West. It's not an adaptation of Journey to West. Oh no. From what I've heard, Akira Toriyama took a lot of inspiration from that very story. Mainly the fact we have a monkey and a pole called Power Pole and a few other different things, but he does his own stuff with it. But yeah, it's basically inspired by that story. One of 3 series I've come across where that particular story is inspired. The other 2 have been a character from High School DxD, where he's from that very story, and this one. So you take the Power Pole, put a crown on him, like binding him for a bit, and then you go back to his base, where we have Akane and oh yeah, and basically Meek shows up too. Yeah, this beautiful woman who this is quite interesting for the series because in the previous season of the show, she basically wore this blue dress, blue boots, black boots and hat. Where this one she's dressed like a frickin' nun with shorts. Yes, why in the world she dresses like a nun? I have no idea. Now, some characters, they get pretty much like to be a little beefier, a little slimmer. Organ, for example. One big change made to her is they gave more freaking clothes to wear. And looks like they made her a little taller, too. Because in the previous series, and look at a picture of her, it looked like she's basically wearing like a Speedo, some weird thing cover her belly, and yeah, they gave her basically a complete makeover in R. Yeah, it's a complete 100% makeover. As for why the makeover, I don't really know. Yeah, some characters I don't really get of why they changed some looks for them. Like Kunai, for example. The only big change made to him is that they, between seasons, it's like the only main change they made to him is that he's a bit more beefier, and they switched the vest. Aside from that, some characters receive very small changes. Some receive drastic changes. Like I keep saying, why? I do not know the reason why for this. Also, for some reason, he's referred to as Lucifer by 2 different people. First of which is Angel, the beautiful Angel White, of course, who, by the way, received no update between seasons. Not really, no. And her sister, Killer Angel. She, of course, basically received no major update at all. Not really. That's one thing interesting about some characters. Some characters do change depending upon the series they're in, but not all of them. Yeah. But definitely in a way, basically, this was a very interesting episode, except it has the same problem a lot of the episode seasons have. The episodes just end. Not like cliffhanger, they just end on a weird note. It's almost like they pick the wrong moments to end at a lot of the time. But the good episodes, it's like, maybe you should have extended these episodes by a few more minutes to give a more better ending of an episode, but who knows? We'll find out more. Now, as far as I can tell, there's definitely an episode airing next week. So, I made a decision what anime to watch next. I was thinking of watching Izumi Turtles Lunch, but I decided to change my mind on that, and I'll save it for tomorrow. So, next anime watch is going to be Case Closed, because I don't want to wait a week again. Okay? But see you in the next video. Bye.